Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, I want to introduce myself. My name is Gervais Birangui. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And today, I wanted to make a video a little bit different than the one that I used to do because it goes to what's been happening in the last uh, about 2 or 3 days. I wanted to kind of give my take about African people, country being talked as shitholes by the leader of this country, the United States President, Mr. Trump. I just want to say from the start that I've been silent for about the last 2.5 years since, the nomination process, the election and the presidency. And for the past year, for everything that you guys have heard about this president, all the insults and disrespect, I haven't said a word because I was more focused on trying to help people from the country that I came from, Congo Brazzaville, because many of us who have the opportunity to be in America or overseas, like Canada or France or many other countries, many of us in the diaspora, we're trying to also use what we learn overseas to help our own country. So I was more focused on that. And I didn't want to kind of address the domestic issues that we have here in the United States. I want to say from the get-go that whatever I'm going to say here, I have not read a script. I have not made a speech. And I'm going to speak from my heart. And I'm going to go a little bit step by step and explain why is it that I choose today to speak as an African man. Like I say on my hashtag, I am proud to be from African descent. Make Black Life Better 03. I am very proud to be from African descent. Make Black Life Better 03. What I'm trying to say here is I'm going to speak from my heart. I'm going to speak because I'm a father of 2 American boys, American black boys in this country. And I'm a husband, married to a beautiful African woman from African origin. She just have a different nationality now, but she originally from 2 countries in Africa and from an African family. It gave me no pleasure to make this video because I don't want to sensationalize that ugliness that we've been living here in this country for the past few months. But because of the fact that I'm an African man who has been living in America for 20 years, because of the fact that we still been trading like we have no value in this country, today, I'm going to respond and I'm going to speak out. I'm going to speak out about Africa. I'm going to speak out about America. And I'm going to speak out about the history About, I think yesterday, maybe, or the day before, the United States President, Mr. Trump, in an immigration discussion meeting with the member of Congress, they're trying to hash out a immigration bill that they call DACA for actually the kids of the immigrant who came here, and the kids trying to stay, get a longer temporary status, or give them the opportunity, trying to get an opportunity to get to a green card maybe in the future. So the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, by testimony now from somebody who was there, which is Congressman Durbin, Democrat, who testified that it was true, say that, why is it that we're letting all these people from shithole country like Africa and Haiti and Guatemala or whatever, why are we letting these people in? Why don't we let in people from Norway, basically from Europe? Basically, what he's saying is that the people who come from Africa or from Haiti or from Guatemala or the other Spanish or South American countries don't have as much value as white people who come from Norway or maybe other European countries. So basically, we're not fit to be in America because our skin is not white. We're going to tear down the value of what America is. That's what he's trying to say in that meeting to those congressmen. So they're trying to craft a law to make sure that people who look like me get deported the most, or people who look like Spanish descendants get deported and arrested the most. And they're trying to make sure that people who look like me, black people, or people who are Spanish, or maybe even Asian, or Arabs, Muslim, don't get the opportunity, if they get legal status here, to bring their parents or to bring their brother or sister here. So they call this chain migration. Now that the immigration is about people of color who are non-white, they want to bring what they call a merit-based immigration. That's funny, because United States of America, United States of America is built by the diversity, was built on the diversity of the different races. The fact that people come from different places of the world came together, built this country, made it stronger. But the real fact now, I'm going to address the African part. The shithole country that he's talking about, I'm going to address that right now. Mr. Trump, if you don't know what Africa, the continent of Africa, represents to this world, you better ask somebody. I'm talking to you, and the white supremacists who support you, those people who have put you in power. If you want to talk about African people, you better look back on how this country was built. United States of America was built on the back of African free labor. It's called slavery. Before you start to talk about Africa and African people or people from African descent, look at your history. The fortune that you enjoy today and all those friends, all those rich friends that you're so proud of, all those rich friends that you went out and took $2 trillion from poor, sick, and broke people and transfer the money under tax cuts, because you maybe don't get where this came from. All those friends that you, many of those friends that you have today on Wall Street, if you go back generation, their fortune came from free slave for 400 years. These people that you guys went to Africa and got to come here build America, the people who have built the White House where you live today was black, from African descent. Where I came from, my country is called Congo Brazzaville. That's where I was born. You have to be careful about the way you go about races in our days. Many of us in this country, contrary to trying to tell what you're trying to explain to people on TV or people in a circle, that all Africans are freeloaders or don't know anything about life, many of us here work twice harder than you ever did in your lifetime because of the privilege that you enjoy. Being a son of a rich man in America, where you don't know where the money comes from. You had the opportunity to get money from your dad, but on top of that, you had the opportunity to get the relationship book to be able to do your real estate deals. So you have enjoyed privileges in this country because you come from a family who had something. But the majority of us who come in this country, we build our life from nothing. We work hard, work 12 hours, pay taxes, pay child support, pay our way up. And I'm a real estate guy on the side, beside my quality control career that I had here for over 17 years in this country. We build our life from nothing. The right way, Mr. Trump. You and your white supremacist friends or supporters that are trying to make everybody that is not white look like they have no value in this country. when they're actually working, paying taxes, raising children, making sure that this country keep going. They're part of what we call the American dream. And I'm a blue-collar worker. I'm part of what we call the real America here. You have to be careful with the way you characterize the whole race, the whole region of people. African people in this country you don't even hear about them, to be honest with you. They don't like trouble because many of them flee the dictatorship, flee civil war from their country, came here to build a new life and give the opportunity to their children to get a better life that they had over there. So they're very silent here in America. They go to work, they go to college, they raise their children, they pay taxes, they help your rich friend get richer because they contribute to this economy. So you have to learn how to show some respect for people who are here in America and work and trying to do things the right way. And I'm not talking about the criminals. The people who don't follow the laws or the people who try to hurt American people, I understand. You can put them in jail or deport them. But the majority, we all know that the majority of African people in this country are law-abiding citizens or law-abiding residents. And I want to make it clear because I know many of those people and I know that they have to lose so much that they will not come in and fuck things up because they know where they came from. They know where they escaped when they came from. Now, you and your supporters in the country now want to turn this country to what the dictators that we flee from look like. For the past year, you have insulted everybody, every part of this country that is non-white. You have disrespecting, you have talking about people a way that even people who have a little power or people who have more money than you, because it's all the billionaires here who never open their mouth. It's many more rich people than you in this country who don't talk like that. Because they know better. They understand the contribution of immigrants in this country. You have turned this country into a Nazi Germany. You and your followers have brought white supremacy into the White House. You were so turned off to see a black man sitting in a chair that you're sitting for 8 years because you had to go the complete opposite way. And to show us how much disdain you have for black people and the black man that was president before you. The black man, President Barack Obama, who was president for 8 years before you. You have so much disdain that the only thing that you did the first year is to reverse everything that has to do with Mr. Barack Obama. So you can show your white supremacy supporters that you clear whatever the nigga did. Because we all know that's how you guys call him. behind closed doors. Let's be real about this. So the African community, it doesn't matter which country they come from, been really silent in this country for many years because they know where they came from. And they came in America, they own businesses, they go to college, they work as blue collars like me for over 17 years in quality control and very proud of it, working billion-dollar companies and basically took care of quality for many, many, many clients. And on the side, I'm a real estate investor. And the sad part that I'm going to say here is what I told my wife when I met her a few years ago. And when we saw that she was a candidate at the presidency. When I started my real estate career in 2001, the sad part, Mr. Trump, that I'm looking at today is your story, your success real estate story that we thought at the time was the first one that I studied. I went to buy your books, The Heart of the Deal. I read many of your work. I watched some of the deal that you talk about. I tried because many of us in 2000 thought that Donald Trump was representing a big piece of United States real estate when it comes to these success stories. And I'm one of those who actually, to be honest, admire what you've done when it comes to real estate and respected it until I find out what kind of man you are through your politics, which is really shameful. A big disappointment for people like us who come to this country, who work to build the American dream the right way. And this is what we find out. Now that you became president, you have decided that you have to get rid of whoever is not white in this country. You came after Muslims, you came after Spanish people, now you're coming after Africans and people from islands, Haiti and Guatemala and the others, even Virgin Islands, even Puerto Rico, who's kind of part of America. You have so much disdain for them that you can't even get them help to rebuild their country. But they're part of America in some way, in their history. Now you start to attack African people. But we're going to tell you who African people are. We're going to tell you who they are and what they have done for you, your family, and all this rich family that you have still in here in America. America went to Africa for two things: our rich resources, natural resources that you're stealing as I'm speaking right now, and the labor through slavery. The sad part is these people from African descent who came to this country and built America for free has not been paid reparations. It's not enough for you guys to have put them in slavery. After that, you could not even give them the right to vote or the right to prosper. Then we had Jim Crow. Now, the new slavery is the prison system that you created, where you have more black men incarcerated than anybody from any other race. So after years of slavery, decades, you turn that to prison. And you're trying to pass laws to do everything you can with the Justice Department that just start to look like the Gestapo of Adolf Hitler. Because it becomes a weaponized Justice Department against immigration and immigrants and people who work all their lives to help build this country, who pay taxes, who pay Social Security, who pay Medicare, Medicaid. They've been treating like criminals. But you guys got rich off of them for 400 years. You have built your fortune. Now that your parents or the parents of your parents gave you that money, now you're trying to act like they should not belong here, or they're not from here. But when the immigration was from Europe, East Europe or West Europe, and by the way, let me tell you, those people from Europe that you're trying to make look like the better people or more educated, they also build their country through Africa. It's called colonization. Go watch your history. In my case, where I came from, France was built by my country, Congo Brazzaville. They've been stealing our resources for decades. They built France on the back of African people in Congo Brazzaville and other countries in Africa. Watch the history of these white countries, white people country that you want to emulate as the best right now. They all have made their money in Africa under my people's back. Show some respect. You and your friends, as I'm speaking right now, the friends that you gave $2 trillion of the poor people here, the sick people here in America, you transfer that wealth to them, the ones who are in Wall Street and everywhere else, who've been rich for generations, have made your money on my people's back. Through slavery and to what you have done to Africa. The wars that we have in Africa right now, Mr. Trump, there is no manufacturing company that make weapons in Africa, Mr. Trump. They come from the United States of America and Russia. Yeah, I dare to say Russia, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to let Americans handle that part. I'm going to stick with today's subject. The weapons that you manufacture here in America, that you sell to my people in Africa, and they paid billions of dollars, make you and your friend richer than you ever been, it's in Africa. We have made in Africa the sad decision to kill each other, so we can have scraps of the resources that you guys are stealing from us. The natural resources that God gave us. Yes, many of us believe in God, contrary to what you think. Many of us want to do the right thing, contrary to what you think. And we don't need a bachelor degree to define what right is from wrong. I don't need a PhD to tell me how smart I can be, or how entrepreneurial, or how many lives I can change for my people. That doesn't define us. What defines us is character. What is it that we stand for? This is the fight that we have in here in America right now. The soul of America is in display. And you have brought white supremacy to the highest ground of this country. And they're making policy that will destroy people for maybe 2 or 3 generations. Because you're afraid of what's not right. If you were so dumb, why are you afraid of us? Why are you trying to round up all these people, all these black people, all these brown people? If we're so dumb and if we're so inferior to your race, why are you trying to put all of us in jail or deport all of us? Because you know the real value. Many of you know the real value of black people. You know what they have done here in America. You know that you owe them. They have not been paid for 400 years. And now you create those minimum slavery wage, $7.25 an hour, which is ridiculous. This is still slavery. And you're talking about Americans going to make $40 more down in their paycheck with your tax cut, $2,000 more, what, a year or some shit? What a disgrace, Mr. Trump. For the trillions of dollars that you have took from them and transferred, you should be giving every family in this country at least $10,000 for the hard work that they're putting in this country. And the sad part is, people think, a big portion of people in this country, especially the 30% that support you, think that this is the right way to go. Now you have United States of America looking like Nazi Germany. You're doing rallies like Adolf Hitler. Your supporters look like Adolf Hitler because everything that Adolf Hitler did when he was rounding up all the Jews, putting them in concentration camp, they applaud. You make America great again. Actually, the man that you supported, Roy Moore, get a definition of that. The Make America Great Again that you've been talking about since you was a candidate was actually going back to slavery. Because Roy Moore said that you supported, that talk like you, think like you, say that America was great during slavery. So when my people was in chain, working for free, making you and your friends and your family rich, that's when America was great. Oh, now that Chinese people, Arabs, Indian, Native American, black people, African people, now working to get also the American dream, now it's a problem. Because they're not white. They don't come from Norway or Europe. But those European countries that you're talking about are nothing without Africa. Mr. Trump, look at your history. They have built their country on the colonization back, and on the slavery back. The resources come from Africa. Those resources are built Europe, country like France. So look at your history, Mr. Trump. And I'm asking your supporter to look at the history. That America that they're talking about, that they're standing up and being so proud to be American, white people didn't work too hard to build it that way. Black people did for free, from African descent. And when slavery was over, you put laws in place to make sure that they don't go too far. Even today, we still fight for vote. The Republican Party who have choose to stand idle to these new ways, this new version of Saddam Hussein or Adolf Hitler, because they wanted a tax cut. Now that they got the tax cut, almost $2 trillion was transferred to the richest people in this country, who happen to be white in majority. Now they should look at their own souls about what you guys trying to do. You're trying to turn this country into a concentration camp? Like you turn in jails 65% of immigrants, and the jails are owned by your friends, and they're getting federal dollars that we pay as taxpayers. You still getting rich off our labor and our people. Even years after so-called slavery ends. You just transfer it. Why are you so scared of people who are non-white? What are you so scared of us? All people here want to do is build the country just like you are doing, but in a more constructive way, not destructive way, Mr. Trump and your supporters. You now look like one of the worst dictators in Africa with everything that you have done during last year. All the insult, all the disrespect. And you trying to normalize white supremacy in the United States of America. Just like Adolf Hitler normalized the fact that Jews was second-rate citizens, they should be all put in concentration camp. That's what you're doing for immigrants right now. And black people. Because they're still the most incarcerated, especially black men, or killed. You are not the only one who live in this country. It's many people from many places. And I understand, if they are criminals, if they come here to kill Americans or burn the American dream, what Americans stand for, and I get it, then I understand that you put them in jail and deport them, but that's not the case. The majority of these people are people who are just trying to make a life from themselves and trying to be part of what we call the American dream. The American dream is the blue-collar majority people who work hard in this country. It's not the people who've been given privilege from 3, 4, 5 generations because slavery was free for them. They get a free ride And you keep giving them a freedom by giving them free money. You just did. You give $2 trillion to the richest people in America right now. When you took away health care, you took away Medicare, now you're trying to go after Social Security. But we pay for that stuff in our paycheck, every paycheck. Many immigrants here pay for that in their paycheck. They don't say a word. Show some respect. You guys have used Africa as a stepping stone for centuries. This is how you have built your country. So show some respect for Africa and people from African descent. You may not like us. You don't have to like us. You don't have to like black people. You don't have to like Spanish people or Arab people. But at least show them some respect for what contribution they have done to your country. You guys rich off of us. You go into Saudi Arabia because they have one of the biggest oil reserves in the world. You went to Iraq because of the oil that they have. The same shit that you did in Africa, you're doing in Africa right now. One of the biggest corporations on Wall Street makes 70% of their profit in Africa and 25 or 30% of their profit in America. What that means? That means that we're paying for your ride, Mr. Trump. We're paying for your capitalism. Capitalism starts with free labor. The concept of capitalism was started on free labor, Mr. Trump. What's your history? Show some respect. For people who have sacrificed. You still owe reparation to the descendants who are today African Americans. You still owe them reparation. You never pay them. But you paid the other white people who own slaves, like in Haiti, that you're insulting right now. Haiti had to pay for 100 years reparation. Like in my country, Congo, they built a system where we got to pay, they got to take all the money before we see a penny. And they decide how much they're going to lend us. But the resources are from my own country. This is the raw deal that my people made back in the day. Many of us came in this country, embraced that mindset of working hard, building from the ground up, the ownership, the entrepreneurship spirit. And now we're trying to take it and go build our own countries or help build our own countries. This is what I'm trying to do as an African man in America. As a hard-working, 12 hours man, blue collar, in quality control. Go see what quality control is. And on the side, decided to choose real estate as my second, actually first, because that's really my career that I've been doing since 2001. I made money, I lost money, I make money again, and I'm back in it. Because this is what America, the American dream is about, entrepreneurship. You don't know nothing about that because you've been given $16 million and a book full of contacts to do your business. I built mine from the ground up. It took me 3 years to build my relationship, Mr. Trump, as a real estate investor. My father didn't give me anything. And I'm proud to say that this is the American dream. And I'm living it, I'm working in it. And I tell my sons who are black men, black boys, that that's what we do. This is why I came to this country, to build and tell my son to do twice of what I did or what I'm doing. And nobody gave me $16 million and a book full of contact to do my business. Of course I'm going to be billionaires if that's the case. That's an easy way in. Show some respect for people who come here and work their butt off. Who are actually part of the real America, the blue-collar America who work their butt off. And I want to address something else that I saw on TV, on the news, about people defining what is a worthy Africans. I think that was disgusting to me. I saw people on TV showing, talking about, so many, such percentage of African people in college or African people who are having degrees. Let me tell you this right now. The majority of African people don't have a PhD. They work. They pay taxes. They buy houses. They buy cars. They make the United States economy going around. So stop talking like you have to have a PhD or bachelor degree to be a great citizen or a great resident in America. Start talking about being part of the real American dream, where the majority of Americans are, the people who work every day, 12 hours, 4, 6, 7 days a week, build businesses from the ground up and make it. That's the America that I learned from. That's the America that I know. So stop trying to clean up African people's image. If you want to talk about African people, talk about all of them. Or don't talk about them at all. Because the majority of the country is on the blue collar side, not the white collar. Let's be real about this. The sad part about what's happening right now is that whatever dignity that United States had is fading away. United States of America start to look like what you guys call, that's your term, a banana republic. Because the majority of the United States Congress are standing idle, watching the destruction of what the core value of this country stand for. Because they want to appease this craziness that we're seeing right now. America look like a dictatorship. For people, I'm sorry, who don't know what that is, dictatorship look like what Mr. Trump and his people are doing right now. This is what many of us left our countries for. Because we wanted to have a more inclusive part, a more where all the tribes can buy in, not just one tribe that's going to beat on everybody else or jail everybody else like they're trying to jail Hillary Clinton right now. Try to jail your opponent. That's what banana republics look like. And they're trying to turn the United States into that. And that's very sad. And Mr. Trump is not the first president that I saw since I've been here. And it's not going to be the last. But it's really sad for many of us who come to this country, who defend the American dream because we have worked into it, we have paid into it, we have been through tough time into it, we have came back from it, from difficulties, and we have promoted it overseas. I cannot promote the American dream to the people from where I'm from to tell them democracy is better if we have a white supremacist movement going on in the White House and in the government who try to jail or deport everybody that is non-white in this country. I cannot do that to make Africa better. I cannot tell my people where I came from, you should listen to me, because I came to America, I worked my way up, I learned how to do business, I learned how to do some trades, and I want to share that with you so we can build the country. I cannot do that if everything that we hear and heard is the hate against Africans, against Spanish people, against Native Americans, against Indians. I mean, it's ridiculous. You are killing the American dream. We are working in it. You are killing the American dream. Not just for America, but for people like us who want to take it to our country and rebuild. Because we're trying to get rid of dictators like the one that now you're trying to be. And you have the United States Congress who stand here idle and don't say a word. So I have a message for the African part of the United States. It doesn't matter what country you are, because anyway, Africa was divided by white men. All those so-called countries used to be just one. We used to have different tribes and we speak different languages. The white man came and made it different countries because he helped them take our resources better. But I'm going to talk to them right now. And I'm going to close this thing. And I know that you are one of the most silent bloc living in America here. You don't really get involved in the politics. They don't see you on TV talking about which party you support. Because many of you like to just be quiet, build your stuff, work your American dream, pay your taxes, and do what's right. But because of the time that we are in now, my African brothers and sisters from African descent, I'm going to ask you now, if you are a United States citizen, if you are the privilege to be today a United States citizen, or if you have children or children of your children that was born in this country who are Americans, I would like you to now start to find out where you live, whether you live in Detroit, Michigan, in Cleveland, Ohio, in Washington, D.C., in Pittsburgh, in Atlanta, Georgia, in Alabama, in South Carolina, wherever you're from, which state you live in, I'm asking you now, please, find out who is your representative or your senator. It's time that African people find out if the people that pass laws when you leave help you or your children, or the people who pass laws where you live actually try to do everything to deport and break your family. According to what you're going to find out, please, the only power that you have is your right to vote. I know many of you never want to be involved in the politics of the United States. But because of this attack on our people, because of this disrespect, if you have the opportunity to be American or have American children that are over 18, it's time for you to find out the laws that are being passed where you live, if they help you or not. If they don't, please exercise your right to vote. And make sure that when you exercise that vote, you tell them that they don't stand for the America that you stand for. Because you're a citizen now. And you tell them that you are proud to be from African descent and you want to make Black life better. And you will vote your conscience on what they do to your city or to your state. But it's time for you to stand up and vote and use the only power that the Constitution of this country has given you that we may not have where we came from. It's time for you to find out if those representatives or senators fight for you. And in 2020, let's talk and address Mr. Trump. I'm not going to say that word again. With your vote. Tell them where you're from originally and use your right to vote. We want to build a strong America. We want to build a United States of America, not an all-white America only. I'm going to stop here for now, for today. And I want to thank you guys for listening. And I want you to remember that. Make Black life better. The American dream is still alive and strong. But you have to make sure that it's still alive for everybody, not just for whites or rich people. That's my message to you. Thank you again for your time, and God bless you all. My name is Gervais Birangui. And I hope through this video that we get a better America for the day that's coming, for the sake of our children, for the sake of our families, for the sake of this country, even of the rest of the world, because they're watching us. Thank you very much.